High school sports have been canceled or even postponed, including high school football because of this pandemic. And now hundreds of high school coaches up and down California say enough is enough. They're coming together as one group in hopes of kicking off a season very soon. It may be a shortened season, but they want some football and they want it now. And if they don't get it, Governor Newsom may be having a knock on his door up there at the state capitol fairly soon. Joining us live this morning to talk more about this is the varsity head football coach there at Serra High School, home of the Padres, Patrick Walsh. Coach, great to have you back on.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So let's just get up to speed on this. I understand the fall season was pushed back. Last check I heard, January 2-5. What's that, 11 days from now? You guys were expected to kick off. Is this going to happen or not on January 25th?
Oh, it's definitely not going to happen on January 25th. On December 14th, the California Department of Public Health released new guidelines that stated high school football cannot be played until counties reach the orange tier. And that's going to be a long ways off. So that's where kind of the stress is on this. And the movement that we have with the Golden State High School football coaches community, it's a great movement because it includes really all sports. We are pushing for all youth sports to be open safely, and not right now. Obviously, this is not the time to do it, but within the spring or late winter of 2021.
And you're spearheading the effort, Coach Walsh, there at Serra High School with the Golden State High School football coaches community. I mentioned as we introduced you, I mean, there are hundreds of coaches who are right there with you. Were you surprised by how many have joined on board here?
Not surprised, no. We have over 650 coaches in our community now. We're getting coaches every day signing up because we're the front line of the mental health issue that's happening with our kids across the state of California. We see it. The data, the mental health data shows that anxiety is up, depression is up. Unfortunately, suicide is up. People calling in, seeking help is up. And us as coaches are standing right next to these kids. And we understand that while sports isn't, the full anecdote or the answer for that, we know that being coaches and what sports, youth sports, from kindergartners all the way up to, high school tackle football, what it can do for the soul. And, because we've seen that, we're trying to present data. We want to get into the governor's office, California Department of Public Health, and see if they can adjust these guidelines so we can actually meet the timeline, which is shrinking, to get these kids back on the field.
So what's the ultimate goal here when you say timeline? I mean, do you guys want a season to kick off, March 1st? Maybe it's not 9 games. Maybe it's 6 games with a postseason.
Well, it's not going to be 9 games. We're a realist here. Yep. We would love to have, a 6 to 8 game schedule, 6 to 8 weeks where we're doing athletic competition safely. What's happening now is we have families playing club ball in other states and other city. We have youth soccer teams that are jumping on planes and flying out of the state of California. Well, we believe as professionals, as high school coaches and youth sports professionals, that if we keep people here, we're actually creating a safer environment for our communities. We have collected data from our workouts that have been happening. We've been doing jumping jacks since April, following guidelines, doing this the right way, working with county and state departments. We've been doing it for a long time. And we have close to 1 million data points of kids showing up on campuses where we've proven through our workouts, doing things safely, doing things the right way, that these are not super spreader events. And we are requesting now a voice so that we can go to the next step and actually compete.
And when you look across the country, Coach, I think 31 states actually did high school football in the fall season. And I think 5 of them had to stop because of outbreaks. Now, whether that was because it was, lack regulations within the school community, or maybe it was outside. So the argument to you is an outbreak can't happen. And you say what to that?
Well, yeah, of course they can. And we saw it in college football. We saw the NFL have issues. We're not recommending that this is going to be easy. We're not saying that this is going to be normal. We're not saying there's going to be 10,000 people in the stands. We know that with proper protocols that we're going to follow, that we will present an opportunity, a chance, an opportunity to do it safely. And if we do have an outbreak, like some of these other states have had, that we'll shut it down for the week or for 2 weeks, or whatever the protocols state at that time. We will do it safely, but at this point, 1 game is better than 0. We haven't been given the opportunity at all. We obviously, there's a huge spike going on right now, and I pray for everybody involved. Our frontline workers, they all deserve Purple Hearts. You know, we don't want anybody to get COVID. I don't want my wife to get COVID, my kids, or any of your kids to get COVID. But we believe that the data that we've been collecting from our own state and throughout the entire country, the data proves that we should be given an opportunity and that we can do it safely.
All right, well, keep us in the loop in regards to your push to kick off a season here. I know a number of rallies are actually being held across the state tomorrow in hopes of starting up high school sports once again. He's Patrick Walsh, the head varsity coach there at Serra High. Coach, thanks for being with us. And again, keep us in touch here about what's happening next.
You got it. Thanks for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
Of course. All right. And Sal, you know, I mean, this has been a big, you know, we heard Coach Walsh talk about the mental health of student athletes in high school. My children, your children, I'm not there yet in those high school years, but just my own kids, I've noticed, you know, not being able to compete and get out there in a safe manner. Yeah, I've seen a difference, you know, and I hope they can start competing again. Right now, we're missing out on CYO basketball, but hopefully we'll have a Little League and softball season around the corner here. What do you think about high school football going forward?
I think that I kind of agree with the coach. I think that with all the precautions that they could take, they should try and bring back some of it in limited fashion as soon as this current lockdown, this current, you know, crisis that we're going through right now, Mike, is over. They should try and bring these guys and gals back into their sports competition using safety protocols. I think it's really important for the mental health of these children. Remember, they're not like us. They, you know, we're adults and we can kind of hang through this, but I think it's really important, Mike.
And the other thing that he mentioned that was interesting, Sal, was when he said a lot of football players and people in other sports, soccer, basketball, are going across state lines out of frustration. But here's the concern about that. If you're going to Arizona or Nevada to play in tournaments, to be seen, to hopefully get recruited by colleges, you can come back into California and who knows what you're bringing back. So, you know, you don't want these student athletes going across state lines. You want them to here and then also, you know, obviously follow all the restrictions.
You know, Mike, I think that what's going to happen is the perfect storm, at least I hope what's going to happen is it's going to be the perfect storm of more people getting vaccinated, hospital capacity going up, and then being able to bring back some of these things that are so important to our children, doing it safely.